Lonoke counties. All right, what are we seeing on radar, Nathan?
Well, we're seeing a potential supercell trying to develop, Tom. As we take a look at the radar right now, we're going to look at the winds because that's the telling story of where the rotation is located. And if you look at this very closely, we are seeing a little kink in the activity right very close to Mayflower. So if there's something about to happen, this is not confirmed, we're just giving you a really good heads up because we're starting to see that rotation happening within this line of storms. It's making its way very quickly off to the east and northeast, but very close to Mayflower. So let's just take the screen full at this time, please. We'll zoom in here, and there is Interstate 40.
Right here. And here's Highway 89.
And it's going to be very close to Highway 89. You see the blues and reds. I'm going to put the symbol here for you, Tom, to really point out on where this is located.
Where we have the rotation. There you go. Along Highway 89, just to the east of I-40, Shoreline Drive area. This is where we're finding that center of rotation. Looks like it's strengthening somewhat. It's moving off to the northeast. It's part of a line of severe thunderstorms. And now, as Nathan mentioned, looks like we've got a supercell thunderstorm. It's trying to break apart and become an individual. All right, so that's where we find the center of circulation here. It looks like it's just past the Mayflower area, although I would just go ahead and stay in my safe place, Mayflower. If you live upstream in parts of southern Faulkner County, into northern Pulaski and White and Lonoke counties down the road here north of Cabot, go ahead and find your safe place. It looks like it may cruise just to your south, Valonia, so I would say go ahead and make sure you take appropriate precautions, find your safe place, have your phone ready to go.
Yeah, once again, this is not confirmed, but we are just taking the precautions. This storm is showing rotation, and we're just in that type of situation where these storms could produce a tornado very quickly with little to no warning. And this went pretty much from a severe thunderstorm warning, 10 minutes later, bam, we're into a tornado warning situation. So if you're watching us just to the east of Mayflower, into Sotillo, Valonia, in El Paso, that part of Faulkner County, and moving into White County, and also northern parts, extreme northern parts of Pulaski County, and extreme northern parts of Lonoke County. That does include you folks in Austin. The sirens are going off, and the reason for that is because we do have a situation where this storm is starting to intensify. It's showing rotation, and it may produce a tornado at any moment. And we're just in that type of situation. We're not talking about potential of a weak tornado, but if this continues to intensify, the chance of a strong tornado could be going up. So definitely stay weather aware in this part of the state. We're going to zoom in once again, call out some of the roads where this rotation is, and we'll just kind of follow along here. So we've got Green Lake Road, we've got Clinton Road, and if this rotation continues, it's going to be affecting you folks into Stone Mountain Road. We got Morin Drive, Rolling Manor Drive. Any of those roads sound familiar to you, then you are in the path of a storm that's producing significant rotation, and it may produce a tornado at any moment. It's now time to go to the lowest level of a sturdy structure. You want to separate yourself with as many walls as possible from the outside. So that's going to be interior bathroom, interior hallway. Storm shelter, of course, is going to be the best option. And mobile homes, not a safe place. That's the worst place to be in because any tornado, even a weak tornado, can do significant damage to a mobile home. So if you're watching us in this part of the state, I know there are many mobile homes around Lake Conway, so you've got to listen to us and take this very seriously because this could change very quickly. It's not on the ground this time. It's showing weak rotation. I wouldn't say it's strong rotation, but it is a little bit of rotation. Looking at the latest scan, Tom, it looks like that rotation has come down just a hint. We have to watch out because these things can cycle up and cycle down very quickly.
And here it is right here. This is I-40, Highway 89. So for those of you that live in southern Faulkner County near Highway 89 and 40 where it intersects, it's now just to, there's Mayflower, just to the northeast of the Mayflower area. The police, let's see, public is reporting a funnel cloud with this. So let's assume that we've got one developing. You want to go ahead and take your safe place, find your safe spot. Here's Green Lake Road. You've got Nursery Pond Road, just some of those roads that Nathan was mentioning, Clinton Road. These are the areas that will be impacted by this thunderstorm as it moves to the east. 45 miles per hour. The warning is in effect excuse me. The warning is in effect till 7:30. Let me take it real quick, Nathan. I had
no
box
problem.
pop up here, and I couldn't see how long it was up.
I just put a cone up. It's a purple cone, and that is basically what I'm looking at of where the most likelihood of where that rotation is going to go across. So Valonia, 721. Mountain Springs, 726. El Paso, 728. These times are rough estimates. They could be a little bit sooner, or they could be a few minutes later. Austin, 731, and 733 in Ward if that rotation does make its way in your direction. This is a very fast-moving system. You're not going to have a lot of time to get to your safe place because they're going about 45, 50, 55 miles per hour. So you have to act now and act quickly. Don't wait for the confirmation of a tornado to take action.
Confirmed now. The National Weather Service says they're confirming the funnel cloud east of Mayflower. To give you an idea, this is Mayflower, right in this general area that Nathan was mentioning. This warning is in effect. I was trying to find the warning information for you until 7:30. And to orient you, this is southern Faulkner. Here's northern Pulaski County. You've got Cato. Here's Ottawa, Arkansas, and Valonia. It looks like you're going to be just on the outer skirts of where this could travel. And one thing, even if you don't see a tornado, you've got some very strong winds. Look at this Boeing segment here that's funneling into where we're finding that center of circulation right there east of Mayflower. Lots of strong wind moving into northern Pulaski County near Marche. It looks like it's just pushed through the Palarm area. Movement is to the east, 45 miles per hour. Nathan?
Yeah, and we got a broad area of a severe thunderstorm warning extending from Pulaski County, Faulkner County, up through White County into Cleburne County and also parts of Independence County. But it's this area that we've seen a little kink in the action, and that tells us that we could be seeing a little bit of something trying to develop, trying to break away from that main line. That's what we're watching out for very closely. And now we have a confirmation that there has been a funnel cloud. So that is basically a tornado that has not reached the ground. Yes, the definition of a tornado is when a funnel cloud reaches the ground, but just to make it the most simplest forms, rotation is just above the surface and it could touch the ground at any moment. So that's why you need to take this situation seriously, because this may be a supercell thunderstorm trying to develop. This storm may try to intensify. There's nothing really to weaken it in front of it. So it's going to continue to draw in that very warm, moist air from the environment that it has surrounding it, and that will keep this storm most likely strong to severe for probably the next hour or a few hours, because we're just in that situation of long-lived supercell thunderstorms.
If we can, right here, let's take a break and take a look outside. Renee, I'm going to throw a curve at you. Let's take advantage of our camera shots. These storms are moving into the Little Rock area, downtown Little Rock area. This is looking off to the northeast. You can see quite a bit of lightning. And if we take the other shot that's looking more westbound, you can see the approach of this line of thunderstorms as it's moving. There you go, right there. Off in the distance, here's possibly shelf cloud, and underneath that, some very heavy rain. One thing going on tonight at War Memorial Stadium, they were going to push the game to 7:30, about a half an hour delay. I think they might want to rethink that, a longer delay tonight, because we are going to see storms affect us here over the next 30 to 45 minutes. And with lightning in the area, it's never a good thing. Just to give you an update there. This line of storms moving to the east at 45. And again, we do have a tornado warning for part of central Arkansas, northern Pulaski, Faulkner into White and Lone Oak counties. Nathan showed you the box just a moment ago. Let's go ahead and go back. We're going to see if we can find where the center of this circulation is on our radar, if you don't mind me. There we go. Thank you so much. Well, let's see what we have here. If there's any rotation, it's got to be in this general area. Not really as well defined, Nathan.
Yeah, I'm looking at Storm Track 11, Tom, just to see exactly where this rotation is located. Now, there was definitely a defined area of a little bit of rotation earlier scans, and now it looks like it's starting to fade away somewhat. So if we can go to Storm Track 11, and we're just taking a look at two different panels here once again. So the left-hand side, that is the winds of the storm. And then the right-hand side, where you see that triangle, that is the computer system pinpointing on where the rotation is located. And at that point in time, it was just to the east of Mayflower. Now I'm going to advance this here, and you can see we kind of start to lose. We lose a triangle, and we also lose that blue color. So to me, this is saying the potential now, we are seeing weakening of this particular storm. Not to say that it won't cycle back up and then that triangle pops up farther down the line. You're still under tornado warning. You still need to take your tornado precautions. If you are under a tornado warning and you hear those sirens, still, this is a dangerous storm. But right now, we may start to see just a little bit of weakening, and that's some good news.
Also, just from the National Weather Service, saying another area of rotation is developing in White County near the Rosebud area. If you live in Rosebud, White County, go ahead and find your safe place. They're not issuing a warning on it just yet, but it's always a good idea because these things change quickly to go ahead and take your necessary precaution. And that's right up here in northern parts of, or say northeastern White County. Rosebud is right here. Here's the area of concern. Certainly some impressive rotation with this, Nathan.
Yes, let's go back over to regular radar.
Regular radar.
And I've got that area zoomed in. So there you see Rosebud, Highway 36. And if there is something about to happen, I'm going to put on the rotation icon.
Right.
And it would be probably, let me take a look at this real quick.
Okay. If you live on Highway 36 or around 36 and 124, over to Highway 320, anywhere at Joy, Arkansas, Gravel Hill, it's located, the center of circulation is located northeast of Romance into the southeast of Rosebud. Where 124 and 36 intersect, that's where we're seeing the center of rotation with not a tornado warned storm yet, but certainly an area that we're going to keep an eye on because we have seen some increase in intensity with this particular thunderstorm.
And like what we've been saying, Tom, all evening long, any storm could start to rotate and produce a tornado. We're just in that situation. The environment is very unstable, and we've got wind shear in place, so any of these storms could start to spin like tops and produce a tornado. That's why we got this tornado warning in effect right now for northern parts of Pulaski County, southern parts of Faulkner County. That does not include you folks in Conway. That storm is well to the east of you, and also Gold Creek, Mayflower. That tornado warning and that rotation is to the east of you. It is very, very close to Valonia in terms of the tornado warning, but the actual rotation of this system still looking, I think it's just south of Valonia from what I'm seeing. So Otto, that's the area that really needs to take the situation very seriously.
This way. It's really hard to pick up too. There's not as much of a defined area as we saw a few scans ago. A lot of wind though with this. If it doesn't produce a tornado, these thunderstorms moving in could produce some straight line wind damage, and that's why we've got the severe thunderstorm warnings along with this particular tornado warning. I'm going to take a step back. This is North Pulaski, southern Faulkner, southeastern White County, and northern parts of Lonoke County. Austin and Ward in Lonoke County, you're in the warning, and El Paso down the road, but it's the area in between that we're concentrating on at this time. Highway 107, circulation will be moving over 107 here shortly. Highway 5 and 319, just if you live in these areas in southern Faulkner County, this is the area that we're talking about that you will want to go ahead and take the appropriate actions, take cover, and make sure you have your phone with you. Make sure you turn up the TV and go get in your safe place. Keep it right here, and we will do our best to keep you informed. Just to give you an idea here, here's the warning for Northeast Arkansas tornado warning. Several severe thunderstorm warnings. Looks like White, Cleburne, Faulkner County, White County is also under parts of western White County. In southwestern White County, severe thunderstorm warning as well as that tornado warning, and a severe thunderstorm warning now for Garland County. And
that yellow polygon, Tom, says that's a severe thunderstorm warning with the potential of seeing rotation. So we have to watch out for that cell because that's kind of all by itself a little bit, and it is starting to show a little bit of rotation. So it's not just your regular severe thunderstorm warning, but they're going with a severe thunderstorm warning tornado possible along with it. So we'll have to watch out very closely. If you are in Garland County, you're not technically in a tornado warning, but this cell does have some rotation, and it may produce a tornado if it continues to strengthen.
Let's take a look at our wind mode here, Nathan. We'll see where the possible wind is, where we could have the rotating winds. Not really pinpointing it that well, though. Just
close to in between Royal and Piney is what I'm seeing on the other computer, Tom.
Yeah. All right, Royal and Piney, Arkansas, Highway 270, just to the west of the Hot Springs National Park area, Hot Springs. There you go, right there. That's the signature that we were talking about. That's where we would find the rotation. This area is moving off to the northeast. Now, if this cell continues to move in the direction that it's moving, it'll move out of Garland into Saline County and could affect parts of western Pulaski County down the line. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect with tornado possible with that severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay, so we'll be watching that one, but let's go back to the current tornado warning that's happening into eastern parts of Faulkner County, right on the border of Pulaski, Faulkner, and White counties at this time, and Lono counties.
Yeah, so if you live in northern Pulaski County right now, you should be in your safe place. Really not picking up any tight rotation with that, any tight couplet. Nathan, do you happen to see something else?
It looks very weak. It is very difficult to actually see something here that stands out to me, Tom. So if there was something happening at this time, it would be very close to Otto or maybe Funston.
All right, so we'll continue.
So right along Highway 107, headed towards Highway 319, Highway 5. Those are the areas I would certainly be concerned about, particularly at this time. But nothing has been confirmed. We did have that funnel cloud,
right?
But we haven't seen anything else since then.
And that is southeast of the Bologna area. That's where we're finding that rotation. Possibly.
Yes, Bologna is out of the tornado warning, if you notice that.
You are safe, Bologna. All right, I'm trying to. My apologies. Trying to get the direct chat window with National Weather Service to get any more information they can provide. Again, there's your tornado warning. This is our regular radar. Lots of lightning and thunder out there. Storms are moving to the east. They'll be moving over downtown Little Rock here shortly. State championship football game going on. They've delayed it a half an hour, so from 7 to 7:30. They might as well just go ahead. Tell you what, with lightning, just put it off indefinitely until this area gets out of the way. I know you got to get your football in, but it's not wise to endanger folks. There's the polygon that includes Austin, Ward, north of Cabot. Does not include Cabot. Does not really include El Paso. El Paso is on the northern fringe of that box. Highway 5 and 319, Highway 89. It's this area, northern Pulaski, northern Lonoke County, and southern and southwestern White County that is currently under that tornado warning till 7:30, another 10 minutes.
Okay, Tom, so we're starting to see maybe a little more uptick in the rotation down in this area. So I'm going to put on the rotation icon of where I think we're starting to see a little more of a spin in this storm. So it's going to be located between Otto and Warsaw, about to move over Highway 107.
Right here.
So we'll put it right about there, and that is starting to show a little bit better on Storm Track 11 as well. So that's why I'm taking a look at both different tools to really pinpoint on where I think this rotation is. And right now I say it's about to move over Highway 107. We're going to zoom in, point out some roads here. So we've got Summer Cemetery Road, Stuckey Road, West Justice Road, and then of course Highway 89, Highway 107, and Highway 5. So if you are in any of those locations, and Robinson Road, that's one of the major roads in that location, that's the best chance of where the rotation from this storm is going to move over your location, and it may produce a tornado at any moment. So you need to take your tornado precautions if you're watching us in this part of Pulaski County, moving into northern parts of Lono County. So Austin, Ward, you are under that tornado warning. There is some rotation starting to show up a little bit better in North Pulaski County, and it's headed towards you folks in Austin and Ward. So you need to really start taking your tornado precautions at this time. That W that you see, that is the Walmart northwest of Cabot. So just to give you a perspective on what we're looking at. But now I'm seeing a little more rotation with this cell in Pulaski County. It's moving towards Austin and Ward. It's going about 50 miles per hour. We're going to put a track on here for you, and we're just going to give you the best inclination, or best, I would say, guess on where this rotation is going to be headed towards, and then there is the time stamp for each individual community.
Right over here.
Give or take a few minutes.
I would say that if you live on the north side of Cabot, if you live in the Mountain Springs area, northward along Highway 5, that's who's in line to be affected by this storm. Those of you that live close to the Walmart in Cabot, that's just off Highway 5. So that's the area of concern. Now, that's a fairly impressive notch right there that we see. That looks like a new tornado warning.
Yes, that is a brand new tornado warning, Tom. That is for White County. That goes until 7:45, and those are the towns and cities included in that warning. So Clay, Step Rock, Little Red, Velvet Ridge, Denmark, Pleasant Plains, very close to Bald Knob. Searcy, you are not included in that warning. But now, Tom, we've got 2 tornado warnings that we're dealing with in the THV 11 viewing area. And look at that. Even Fayetteville is under a tornado warning. And they weren't even under really
That's right.
but a slim
They
risk of
weren't.
severe weather. So this is getting more concerning now, ladies and gentlemen, because it looks like the atmosphere is starting to really get primed, and now these storms are spinning like tops, and we're going to have to watch every single one of these because they could produce tornadoes at night. Not a good situation.
Here's the information with this one. It's Cleburne, Independence, Jackson, White, Woodruff counties till 7:45. We just covered that one. And to our south, we still have the one for northern parts of Pulaski, Lone Oak, and White counties. It looks like the circulation area here near Pangburn, Arkansas, Latona, Arkansas, movement is to the east. That's where we're finding some of the strongest winds within this particular thunderstorm. And you're right, Nathan. I think you know we've been playing kind of the waiting game these last couple of 3 hours. We had the one supercell that tracked to the northeast is affecting the Jonesboro area, and now we're beginning to see the main event come through tonight. Folks, it's important that you stay really close and aware of your surroundings. Here are the areas that are going to be affected with the tornado warning that I just mentioned. We've got Clay, Little Red, Providence, Arkansas, Velvet Ridge, Bradford, Possum Grape, and even Newport possibly by 8 o'clock. And Newport was close to the one that moved through northeast Arkansas not long ago.
Yeah, Tom. So there you see the cities that may be affected. This is not confirmed, but still, this is showing definite rotation, and it may produce a tornado at any moment. So if you're watching us in those locations in White County and moving into Jackson County and also parts of Independence County, you got to take this storm very seriously. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder, but main concern, there could be also some damaging wind gusts. Primary concern, though, could be a tornado, and it could be a strong tornado that may come from this cell. There's definitely there's some separation here, Tom. I'm looking at this radar, and they look like they're starting to break apart from the main line. So it looks like we've got one supercell trying to develop into northern parts of White County. That's moving off to the northeast, affecting Jackson County. So Jackson County heads up because this more than likely will be extended into your region. And then we've got this other supercell moving through White County, right on the border of Lono County. So heads up for the rest of White County because you may be under a tornado warning in Gardner, Beebe, and Searcy if that cell continues to intensify and stay strong.
Got some information with that storm that moved through the Mayflower area. The Mayflower Fire Department is getting some reports of some damage in their district along 365 and I-40. So we will certainly update you on that. If one of our producers is listening in, you might try to travel up to the Mayflower area and see if you can see some of that that went through earlier this evening. And here is that warned box that we're talking about, tornado warning in effect for this area. It looks like we've got another little area here that is redeveloping. You mentioned it, Nathan. Looks like these storms are breaking apart from the line and they're going to individualize, and these supercells could produce tornadoes. And that's near Highway 5 and 107. Looks like it's at the triple point of where Pulaski, Faulkner, and Lono County come together, north of 89, just to the north and northeast of the Cabot area. Here's Highway 89, there's 107, and it looks as if we've got a fairly strong signature there with this particular cell.
It's not showing up that much on our rotation tool on Storm Track 11, but that is concerning. And like you said, it's right on the border of Pulaski County, Lono County, and Faulkner County. We'll do a track here, and then we'll zoom in, we'll point out some roads, but here is the track of that system. Looks like a new tornado warning has just been issued, and it has. BB, you are under the potential of seeing this tornado headed in your direction now. That's the latest tornado warning.
Lone Oak, Prairie, Pulaski, and White counties till 8:15. So this box is shifting to the east a little bit. And you're right, if you live in Beebe in White County, you're going to be affected. McRae, Antioch, McRae up the road here. Antioch is not far from Beebe in southern parts of White County. So an extension of this warning.
Yep, and it's a fairly large tornado warning, so it's very concerning that they've gone so big with the tornado warning, even that rotation's pretty small. But supercells can have several areas of rotation, so we don't just watch the one rotation that we're seeing right now. It could form another rotation somewhere else within that cell. But what we've been saying is these storms are starting to spin like tops, and let's just make sure there's nothing else coming from the southwest. Got the severe thunderstorm warning for Little River County, and still that one in Garland County. But we're going to focus on the two tornado warnings at this time, and we'll zoom in. We'll give you some
right here
roads here. Just 1 second. We'll take a look at the radar.
Yeah, it looks like that storm has left Cleburne County and is now in northern White County. So White County has 2 warnings going on right now. It was located near the Rosebud area, and it's moving to the east. Little Red, you're in the way here. Looks like Pangburn, it looks like it's just near you. Latona, Arkansas, Clay. It's where Highway 16 meets up with 305 in northern parts of White County. It looks as if it's now leaving Cleburne County. Nathan?
Yeah, I'm going to zoom in here, Tom, and we'll just point out some of the roads to give people a little bit better perspective. So Highway 124, Highway 157, there's Clay, Step Rock, the communities of Little Red. If you are watching us in any of these communities, you need to take your tornado precautions at this time. Denmark, Highway 167, we'll even go a little bit closer to really bring out the side streets. We've got, let's see here,
like
Wildcat Loop.
Yep.
Seen some other streets here that really stand out that people know. Nothing too many major roads up here.
Yep.
Fowler Road, the community of Providence. So any of these roads or any of these communities that I'm scanning over right now and you're like, oh no, that's me, you need to get to your safe place at this time because you've got a very fast moving storm that may not just produce a tornado, but still can produce damaging wind gusts, and those winds could be as high as 60 to 70 miles per hour from what I'm seeing on the radar at this time, and that could certainly do some damage as it rolls through that part of White County. So we've got that tornado warning, and now we've got the new tornado warning that includes Searcy, Judsonia, Kensett, Higginson, Gardner, McRae, Beebe. So many communities are involved in this latest tornado warning, and right now looks like that rotation. I'm going to take a look at some other tools here just 1 second. If we can go over to Storm Track 11,
Track 11, please,
and see if we can bring it out a little bit more. So there's nothing really strong, Tom, on the rotation tool, but just that look on the radar itself is concerning. You can see the rotation shows a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a little stronger
with that
here.
northern tornado warning just to the west of Step Rock. But if we're going to say where this rotation is with this southern system, it is just to the northwest, I would say, of Austin. So let's go back over to radar.
All right.
I'm going to put on the icon of where I think this rotation is going to be. So we're going to say it's very close to Austin and Ward at this time. So just because the rotation might be seen just outside of Austin and Ward, don't let your guard down. You're still under tornado warning. The sirens are still going off. You need to take your tornado precautions, but especially the Walmart in BB and BB.
Downtown BB.
That is going to be the highest threat of where this rotation is going to go over. This is not a confirmed tornado, but it could drop from the sky at any moment, and that's why you need to take this seriously. It's a dangerous storm. It's about to move over Highway 167. I don't know if I drive Arkansas, if we can pull that up along those areas, we would really appreciate it in the back.
Okay, so BB is in line 167, Highway 64. This is just to the northeast of you, Ward, if you live in Ward, Arkansas. North of Austin, Cabot. It's a little far away now, but that's where the center of circulation is located. That's where the possible tornado. As it moves to the northeast, at 45 miles per hour, you've got McRae, and you've also got the possible Searcy area coming up. Here's RDOT. This is the camera of Cabot. We're looking at Cabot. There's traffic out there, of course. You can't really tell. I guess we're looking back into the storm. I see a little bit of a lightning flash there, but this is what it looks like out of Cabot tonight. If you live in Cabot, if you live in Austin, Ward, and northern Lonoke County, go ahead and stay in your safe place until the all clear. If you live upstream a little bit, if you live in southern White County, if you live in BB, even toward the McRae area, go ahead and get your preparations now. You've got roughly 30 minutes or so before the storm moves over your area. And what's going on is the storm will cycle down and then it will recycle, and that's what's going on with this particular thunderstorm. We had a line of storms not long ago. Now they're breaking apart and they're individualizing. They're becoming more supercellular in nature, and those are the ones we really have to keep an eye on that could produce a tornado. And tonight, the atmosphere is very conducive for tornadoes, possibly strong tornadoes that could take up a lot of real estate. Can we spread out a little bit more? Let's go ahead and find out what else is going on, Mr. Nathan, about around central Arkansas. We've got the 2 warnings. White County is under a double shot of tornado warning there. You've got tornado warnings that continue extreme northeast Arkansas. This was the first one we had tonight. And we've got severe thunderstorm warnings for western parts of Pulaski, Saline, and Garland County. We're keeping a close eye there. And with the frontal boundary that is moving into northwest Arkansas, even Fayetteville is under a tornado warning. As Nathan mentioned a few moments ago, they weren't under a risk, maybe slim risk. Most of this action is supposed to take place over central and northeast Arkansas. As you can see, we've got numerous severe weather warnings, and we've got more to come in southwest Arkansas. Just on the western side of I-30 in our southwesternmost counties, they will be moving to the northeast and once again affect places like Hot Spring and Garland counties, and down the road Saline and Pulaski County. And there's that tornado warning once again for northern parts of Lonoke County, White County, and Faulkner County. It looks like it's moved out of Faulkner County, so there's the box right here now in western White, northern Lonoke County. Movement is to the northeast. If you live in Beebe, Garner, even up the road in Searcy, go ahead and take cover.
Tom, I'm looking at what's happening in northeast Arkansas. Yes, we've got tornado warnings here, but there is certainly a very terrible situation unfolding in northeast Arkansas.
Yeah.
Big tornado, definitely probably on the ground near Leachville. So that's headed towards, looks like Crothersville and very close to Blytheville.
Wow.
So they're dealing with some really nasty weather, and that's because these cells are developing over central Arkansas, and then they really start to wind up and develop across northeast Arkansas, where strong tornadoes are more likely in that part of the state. Not to say we won't see a strong tornado here in central Arkansas. Our threat is a little bit lower. Don't let your guard down, but we still have tornado warnings affecting parts of central Arkansas at this time. And we are continuing to monitor the rotation that is happening over White County and what is happening over, well, pretty much 2 circulations over White County. We're watching very closely.
What's interesting about that one that is producing the tornadoes in northeast Arkansas is it initiated here in central Arkansas. We watched it right before the newscast earlier this evening, and it just grew in intensity. So it's very possible that these storms move over a very an environment that is conducive for further development. We don't want to scare folks. We just want you to be prepared. But we could still see some more tornadoes tonight, especially northeast and eastern Arkansas. There's the box once again. Tornado warning in effect for parts of parts of Lonoke, Pulaski, and White counties. If you live in and around the Beebe area, even around Ward, looks as if this is where the area of concern. If you know where the Walmart in Beebe is, that's where we're finding some of the circulation.
Yeah, Tom, so I'm just looking at the rotation tool on the other computer right now, and still nothing is really standing out and screaming out at me that there's definitely a tornado happening at this time. But with that said, this is most likely a supercell thunderstorm. It's developing, it's strengthening as it races off to the north and northeast. So BB, I think you have the best chance right now of where the rotation is located. And once again, that W is the Walmart just outside of BB. So from BB to McRae to Gardner, you got to watch out for the system all the way up along Highway 167. Tornado not confirmed at this time, but it could happen at any moment. We're just in that situation where these cells are developing very quickly, and you can't let your guard down no matter what. So if you're watching us in that part of White County, in that part of Lonoke County, Cabot, you're in the clear, okay? That rotation is northeast of you. So Cabot, you're good. Austin, still stay in your safe place. Ward, definitely stay in your safe place. BB, don't move. McRae, Gardner, Griffithville, up through Belcher. Those are the areas right now. I'm going to draw a new purple box of where the rotation most likely is headed towards. So even though you are not in this purple box, don't let your guard down. But this is where we're pinpointing on where the rotation is more likely to happen, and that includes BB, McRae, Griffithville, Pryor, West Point, Georgetown into Gregory if it holds together and moves into Woodruff County.
I was just looking at some information. The Weather Service says this circulation has weakened a little. They're still going to keep the warning on it, but it's weakened. Could be going through its cycling phase. But the circulation in this vicinity has come down a little bit. That's some good news. Let's hope that it cycles down and moves out of the way. But if you do live in this area, it's a good plan just to stay put, safe place, turn up the TV, go get in the safe place. Make sure you have your phone with you just in case. Also, they're looking at a cell, Nathan, over toward the Air Force Base. If we want to take a little bit of a closer jaunt to Little Rock Air Force Base near Jacksonville, apparently there's a cell there that may have some impressive rotation. They're getting ready to quite possibly throw a warning on. And there's Jacksonville right here. So around in this area, Jacksonville, the Air Force Base is right here. There's Macon. You've got a couple of Dollar General stores. And there's Gibson, Arkansas. It looks like they just posted. They just put it under a warning. Looks like that box just popped up.
Yep, there you go. So that's the newest tornado warning now. With that system, Gibson, Macon, Warsaw, Jacksonville, Parnell, and now Cabot is under tornado warning. So you were done with the first tornado warning, Cabot, but now you've got a new tornado warning because we got new rotation that's been starting to spin up into northern parts of Pulaski County. That's moving off to the east.
We might find it might be better to go to Storm Track 11 and see where the circulation is here for the Jacksonville area, Air Force Base, Little Rock Air Force Base in Jacksonville. The storm's moving to the east, which is, it looks like it's going to graze Jacksonville. There's the Walmart, Cabot, be on your guard, even places like Furlough in Lono County. There we go, if we could.
There's definitely a little bit of appendage right there, Tom, that we're watching. So it's right there near Gibson. If there's something happening, it's going to be right about very close to Gibson. But yeah, let's go to Storm Track 11 because I think that points out the appendage even better. It's right over the surface observation of the Air Force Base.
If we can, Renee, Storm Track 11, please. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that shows it a lot clearer there. There it is.
Yeah, so you see the satellite photo of the Air Force Base, and here's the appendage. So if there's something about to happen, that's where the rotation's going into the storm, and that's where it's starting to look a little more suspicious in that part of the cell.
This is moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. Though these storms are moving very quickly to the east. It's going to travel, if not over the Air Force Base, just to the north of it. And there is that circulation area Nathan was mentioning. So this is going to get awfully close to Cabot. This is going to take a very familiar track of the 1976 Cabot tornado. Those of you in Cabot, northern parts of Lono County, take cover now. If you live in Austin and Ward, here we go again. You're still under a warning, but it looks as if now you've got a new one that's coming at you, and it's this right here, this appendage that Nathan's talking about. So tornado warning is in effect for that particular cell.
Yeah, if we can go over to Dash RView 11 just to take a look outside, because this line is just packed with a lot of lightning. Another thing we watch out for, when storms intensify, they produce a lot more lightning. And when the storms start to intensify, then rotation in this type of environment can happen very quickly. So it is lighting up, I would hate to say like a Christmas tree, but I mean, it's December. This shouldn't be happening, right? But we've got very warm and moist air in place for these storms to feed off of. And now the latest from Storm Track 11 does show a little more rotation happening just very close to the Air Force Base. So
looks like it's
you want to point that out,
right in this area, right here.
We got that triangle.
There's that triangle that would indicate where we could possibly have a tornado. And yeah, moving to the east, 55 miles per hour. It's going to cross over Pulaski County into Lono County. Here's Cabot right here. It's in line to pretty much go over Cabot, downtown Cabot.
We're covering a lot of area now, Tom. We've got 3 tornado warnings in effect, and they're pretty much from Lono County, has been extended into Prairie County, a large part of White County, and then also a small sliver of Woodruff County and Jackson County. So let's go down the line. Let's go back over to radar. First of all, the most recent tornado warning, the one that's in effect for Cabot, here's the timeline of what communities may be affected. This rotation's moving over. The purple cone, that's where the highest probability of this rotation to go over those communities. So Macon, 7:43. I mean, you don't have much time to head to your tornado safe place, but get there as soon as possible. And then we've got Cabot, 7:52. Edwards, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Hickory Plains, around 8 minutes after 8 o'clock. So that is the first tornado warning. That's the most recent tornado warning that we're dealing with. And we're seeing that rotation starting to pick up. So it's not confirmed, but it may happen at any point. And we're just in a situation, you have to take this very seriously. This is a dangerous storm, along with every storm that has a tornado warning attached with it. Let's go up the line here and take a look at our next tornado warning into White County that was affecting you folks in BB. It is now over McRae. I'm going to put on the rotation of where I think that is, just 1 second here. And I say it's pretty close to McRae and Gardner. So if there's something happening with that cell, it's going to be right over you folks in McRae and very close to Gardner, headed towards Griffithville, Pryor, West Point, Higginson, and we'll put on a track with that cell, and we'll go beyond the tornado warning with that one just to give you a good idea, if you're watching us, into Woodruff County, when you may expect that rotation, if it holds together, which it most likely will because there's nothing to stop it, but it's moving off to the east-northeast, and there's some timeline for what communities will be affected by that particular cell.
Yeah, you know, if you live in anywhere in southern White County, McRae, Garner, Griffithville, Georgetown, which is on down the road, you're getting into Woodruff County here with McClellan, Augusta, and McCrory. You know, one thing I wanted to point out, if we can go back to Storm Track 11 real quick, I wanted to show this because we started the evening with a line of storms, Nathan. We've got supercell here, supercell here, supercell here. They're breaking up, which means we're probably going to see a few more tornadoes tonight. It started off being a wind event, putting it into motion. Watch as they kind of break apart and they individualize themselves, and that's what's dangerous. It looks like we have another one that is trying to come together here out over western parts of Pulaski County, and we've got the severe thunderstorm warning. So all of these cells that develop could, in fact, break apart from a line and go off on their own, and that's the big concern for tonight, especially over eastern, northeastern, and parts of central Arkansas.
All right, Tom, let's get back over to radar.
Yeah.
There is the communities that will be affected by this second tornado warning. That includes McRae, Gardner, Griffithville around 7:53, Pryor around 8 o'clock, Georgetown 4 minutes after 8 o'clock, Augusta 12 minutes after 8 o'clock, Howe 16 minutes after 8 o'clock, and McCrory 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. So if you're watching us in those locations, even though you're not under a tornado warning at this time, I really don't see any reason of why this tornado warning will not be extended. These are supercell thunderstorms. It's a very warm, unstable environment ahead. These cells will most likely maintain their strength or strengthen as they race their way off to the east and northeast. The other tornado warning we're still watching has been dropped. So that is some good news. The warning for northern parts of White County into Jackson County has been dropped. So we have 2 tornado warnings now in effect for the THV and viewing area. That includes the Jacksonville, Cabot, pretty much right along Highway 167. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Little Rock, and we're going to take a look at some other warnings here. New warnings are being posted in southwest Arkansas. So we're still watching all these cells that continue to develop, move into an environment that is favorable for them to strengthen or maintain their strength, and we'll have to just watch each one of these cells. And like we've been talking about, Tom, hit or miss. Not everybody's going to see rain out there this evening. Even though we need the rain, we don't need the severe weather.
We have Scott Covert. Meteorologist Scott Covert is in Cabot at this time, and we're going to turn things to him. He's, I guess, looking at the front of that thunderstorm that is now moving through the Cabot area. Is Scott mic'd up? Can he talk to us? Okay. Scott, what are you looking at? I think there's a bit of a delay with Scott, but We'll try to get him on here. But there you go. That's up in Cabot, Lonoke County, where a tornado-warned storm is moving through the area. You can see a lot of lightning with this particular thunderstorm, heavy rain, and the possibility of a tornado. Now, the tornado could be wrapped in rain, so you won't really see it coming at you. But Nathan, you mentioned the intense lightning. These storms are now producing lots of lightning.
Hey, good evening, Tom.
There you are.
Yeah, we are on the south side of Cabot, looking up towards the north and east. The rain shield just now moving into the area. The inflow winds directly into this storm are very strong. I'm going to estimate, I'd say 30 to 40 mile per hour winds inflow right into the hook echo of that storm.
Okay, Scott, thank you very much. Yeah, that's what's going on in the Cabot area with that tornado-warned storm. And as we mentioned, there's a lot of significant lightning with this particular supercell thunderstorm. And as Nathan has been saying, and I've been saying, they're breaking apart from the line. They're intensifying. So Cabot, make sure you stay in your safe place. And if you live anywhere northeast of Cabot, we're talking about Ward, Austin. If you live even towards southern White County, this is a pretty dangerous situation. So make sure you are in a safe place. Let's go ahead and go back to what we have with our live winds and radar, and we've got the latest here.
Watching those two supercells, Tom, one right on the border of White County, and one on the border of, well, not on the border of White County, but pretty much on the border of White, Lonoke, and Prairie counties. Just to the south looks like of Gardner. So if we can go back over to radar, because that's the most important thing to look at right now, to show exactly where that rotation is located. We have those two tornado warnings in effect.
Renee, would you take us back to radar, please? We'll get there. There we are.
Okay, so we've got, you can see the winds picking up right around Gardner. So if there's something happening with that cell, again, we don't have anything confirmed at this time, right, Tom? I'm not seeing anything on.
No, we have not had a confirmation.
Okay, but we do have a new tornado warning. They dropped the tornado warning and then reissued it now for the border of Independence County and Jackson County. So now we've got, once again, 3 tornado warnings in effect for the THV 11 viewing area. And this rotation is very close to Knuckles, Denmark, just to the east of Denmark.
Yeah.
And then you have Oliphant. This is going to be headed towards Newport and Diaz.
Yeah,
so
right
if you're
up the road
watching us
here.
in those locations, this cell is strengthening. It is dividing from the main line, and it is a supercell thunderstorm that could produce a tornado at any moment. So there's that tornado warning for those locations. I'm just going to go with the warning right now. We'll go back to radar in just 1 second,
there you go.
and we'll bring up some communities. So there's the communities, Elmo, Old Trough, but certainly Knuckles, Newport, Diaz, and very close to Grubbs. That's where I think the rotation is going to be making its way over. We'll go back over to the radar, and once again, you can start to see a little bit of appendage here, very close to, is that Thida?
Thida, Arkansas.
We'll go with Thida,
We'll go with
Arkansas.
Thida.
And this is going to be moving towards Knuckles, Newport, and Diaz. So let's put on a track with that. Tom, how fast is that moving, if you can tell me, please?
All right, so tornado warning for Independence, Jackson, White County, moving to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. A possible tornado near Pleasant Plains, Arkansas.
Okay, so there's what we're thinking right now, where that rotation is located. Pleasant Plains is just on the very close to the border of Independence County and White County, right at the triple point of where Jackson, White,
Right.
and Independence
Right over
counties
here.
meet.
So, yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, I'm seeing it start to show up a little bit more on Storm Track 11. So what we've got, I think, right now is pretty much where that rotation is. So those are the communities that will likely have the rotation move over them, and this may produce a tornado at any moment. So it's time to take your tornado precautions. Knuckles, Newport, Diaz around 8 o'clock. That's all you've got. This is a very fast-moving system. It's barreling off to the northeast and east about 50 miles per hour, so it does not give you much time to prepare for this potential tornado headed in your direction. Grubbs, 8:13. And then you see the other communities there around 8:15 or 8:18. So we've got 3 tornado warnings now we're watching, and there could be more coming because these cells are dividing among themselves and just breaking up.
Yeah, and this seems to be the initiation point here across parts of central Arkansas, where we had a line earlier, and now we've got 3 supercells that have broken apart. And we've also got another one now in southwest Arkansas that a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for what looks to be parts of Howard County, Hempstead, Pike, Clark counties, and also into what is just north of Clark County. It looks like there's just a little bit here near Caddo Valley. We'll keep an eye on this. This is all by itself, and I would not be surprised, I'm sure Nathan wouldn't either, here over the next few moments that we get a warning, a tornado warning on that. And here toward the Benton area, just to the west of you, another really ominous looking cell here. We talk about hook echoes quite a bit, and this looks like it's hooking out here. So we're going to keep an eye on that. All of that into western parts of Pulaski County, where we're getting quite a bit of rain with these thunderstorms. And then as they move into a more favorable environment, they're breaking apart and becoming supercells, and we're getting these tornado warnings. Warning remains in effect for parts of Pulaski, Lonoke County, White County, into Woodruff counties with this particular cell. Do you have a way to look, see here, Nathan, if we can find some rotation in this particular area?
I'm looking at the other tool, Storm Track 11, Tom, and it's not showing as much as it did before. So that's good news.
Good news.
Hopefully the rotation is just staying in the clouds and it's not reaching the surface.
But it looks impressive. You can see right here, it's hooking out right here near the Austin area. It's a supercell thunderstorm. So we'll keep an eye on that one for you. And we've got more activity in northwest Arkansas with the main frontal boundary that's going to be pulling in here late tonight and early tomorrow morning. So more to come. Just because we might see this move out of your area, there could be more coming up right behind it.
Yeah, looking at Storm Track 11, Tom, I would say right now that rotation is probably out of, there's rotation around Austin with that appendage, now moving towards Ward. So we got one little appendage right there, very close to BB. And then there's another area that we're still watching, maybe back here around Jackson. But you notice the rotation tool is not showing up that much. Now, a different story, moving a little bit farther to the north, Griffithville. So if there's something happening at this time, with that tornado warning, that's going to be very close to Griffithville, and then it's definitely a little more impressive into Independence County, where that green bullseye is showing up. So that's headed right towards Newport and Diaz. That is the most concerning cell, I would say, at this time, that is more likely to produce a tornado than the other two. Not to downplay the other two tornado warnings.
Right.
Don't disregard any tornado warning that we have shown here on the map. But the highest concern is going to be the one moving out of Independence County into Jackson County, headed for the city of Newport and Diaz. And that is moving to the east, northeast, about 50 miles per hour. So once again, if you're just watching us in those locations, you need to get to your safe place. Take your tornado precautions at this time. Lowest level, sturdy structure, interior hallway, interior bathroom, pillows, blankets, get in the bathtub. Don't forget your shoes. That's one thing we have to mention. Always put your shoes on before you take those tornado safety precautions, because if there's debris around, you don't want to step on that.
No, and this is the second time tonight that we've had a tornado warning close to this area. We had one move through not long ago that is in northeast Arkansas. Nathan mentioned that it looks like a pretty bad deal up toward the Blytheville area, and now we have this cell. This cell looks to be moving more to the east-northeast, and the other one was moving due northeast, and it was moving along. There it is right there, what's left of it. And yeah, that's not a good thing to see right there.
That's a tornado emergency, Tom.
Gosh.
That means there's a very, very powerful tornado moving through that part of the state.
Well, my goodness. I just hate to see that. All right, and a Friday night, and here's something else we just want to pass along to you before you go to bed tonight, and I don't see how you can anytime soon. Make sure you don't turn your phone off. A lot of people put their phone on silent. Our THV11 app, if you've had it downloaded or you have to, or you can download it, you can set to receive severe weather warnings and it will alert you. But that's just one thing you need. You probably also need to have your NOAA weather radios. You know, we get into a habit where we don't need them for a while, so they sit there. Sometimes the battery compartment will corrode on it, the electrical part will work, but if you lose power, the battery backup is supposed to give you the warning. So take a look at your NOAA weather radios. This is turning out not to be a great night for parts of Arkansas. Okay, back to the warnings that we have. As you can see, we've got several polygons here, and they're in east central northeast Arkansas. This is White County area. You've got McRae, Garner, down to the BB area. Just to the south and east, there's Hickory Plains, Cabot, Lonoke County. This is where we're finding a tornado-warned storm, and I can't quite tell where that's. Ward, Arkansas. That looks like it's right over Ward, Nathan, at least one of those appendages that we talk about, or the hook part of that particular thunderstorm. Goodness.
Yeah, any one of these little hooks that we're seeing, that is clearly the area of mid-level rotation. Whether or not it's making its way down to the ground, we have not gotten any confirmed reports of damage or tornadoes from these 2 tornado warnings. There was some damage reports you said earlier around Mayflower with that previous one.
Yeah, there was a report of damage.
And we're sending somebody out on that.
Let me see if we can get some producer. Do we have somebody on our way to Mayflower to check the damage, to check and see if there was damage? Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can get somebody on it. Maybe have Scott go and take a look at that for us. Meteorologist Scott Covert's out and about. He's up near Cabot. And we're also keeping an eye on what's happening to our southwest. Far from being over, the next round is up here in northwest Arkansas. Earlier tonight, Fayetteville was under a tornado warning. We still have the front to move through tonight, so we have plenty of time for more activity to develop out ahead of this area. And also, we had a line of storms. They've broken apart and they've become supercell thunderstorms. Severe thunderstorm warning for several counties here in southwest Arkansas. If you live down in southwest Arkansas near Nashville, Murfreesboro, Pike City, that area is moving to the northeast, and it's moving along pretty quickly at about 50 miles per hour. Not picking up any rotation or not much rotation with it just yet. That's why we just have the severe thunderstorm warning. But you can see there's a little there.
Yeah, there's a little bit there around Nashville. So we'll have to watch out for that because, again, it's moving to an environment. It's all by itself and very close to Interstate 30. So we'll just have to watch out on where that goes and if it continues to strengthen. Most likely it probably will continue to strengthen, but hopefully it does not start to spin like a top. But there you see, and we're not the only ones. I mean, you look at all the tornado warnings all the way up through Missouri, Illinois. So a lot of people are dealing with a dangerous night ahead, Tom. And let's go back over to radar right now because we'll just take a look at the wide perspective. And there you see all the tornado warnings, St. Louis into western Kentucky. The front, let's see where that front is. I'm going to take a look at temperatures right now because that is the most important thing we're watching for is the front. Where is the front located and when does it move through? Because once the front moves through, we're done with the threat of severe weather.
Yeah.
So it's still back in Oklahoma where those cooler colors are.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, way over here. So we've got a prefrontal trough that we're dealing with where the area of thunderstorms are developing, and we've got the secondary area in northwest Arkansas, and we still have the front to come through. Hopefully, these thunderstorms will work over the atmosphere somewhat and will help to stabilize things. But until that happens, these thunderstorms are going to develop very quickly, and they will have spin with them, and thus the result is you get several tornado warnings till 8:15 for a good part of central Arkansas, Lonoke County, Prairie County, White County. A very intense area of thunderstorms now moving into the Searcy area along 67, 167, extending back to Garner, to BB, even Ward, Austin, and Cabot. And not long ago, we had a tornado warning that was posted because we had a decent area of circulation near the Little Rock Air Force Base. That was moving to the east. So you've got an intersection of 3 tornado warned boxes over one area. Let's hope that everybody's staying safe in their safe place and that they've turned up their TV and they've left the room. Stay put. You're not out of the woods yet.
And going back to Storm Track 11, Tom, that really highlights on where that rotation is. So rain is on the left-hand side of the screen, your regular radar that we look at all the time. But on the right-hand side of the screen, we're looking for these areas of blues and greens. And when you have blue, go to green, go to yellow, that is significant rotation taking place. I'm not seeing that. So that is good news. Let's take a look at the first tornado warning. If there's something here, it's going to be, looks like there might be a gust front with maybe a weak tornado possible approaching
the Air Force Base. Yeah, right there.
Highway 167, but nothing really stands out. So hopefully that stays aloft, but we'll be watching that very closely. Moving up Griffithville, again, that elongated area to me says it's more of a damaging wind threat versus a pinpoint area of where rotation is solidly located. So this is primarily a wind threat, I think, through Griffithville to the south of West Point, approaching Georgetown, but there could also be a weak tornado embedded within that line. This one is a little more concerning, approaching, once again, Newport and Diaz, Jacksonport. We're not seeing that green as much, but it's there. So there's more rotation, a tighter couplet with this area about to move right over those three communities into Jackson County, and it will be getting very close to Campbell Station, Grubbs, and Tuckerman. That cell could continue to strengthen as it approaches Jonesboro. Jonesboro was already affected.
Right. Look at that right there. There's a confirmation of a tornado there on the southeast side. Look at that storm has produced numerous tornadoes as it's moved to the northeast. It's amazing. Amazing. Wow. And what he was saying is that that area is going to be affected once again here this evening. And we still have that tornado emergency in extreme northeast Arkansas.
Yeah, and it's going to be moving into West Tennessee.
Right.
But like you said, we've got to watch out for these cells in southwest Arkansas. We've got a lot to watch out for, and we're trying to cover all the THV 11 viewing area. We're trying to give everybody equal time, but we want to focus on the most concerning parts, and that is the tornado warning. So we'll go down the line once again of who's seeing what. Back over to radar, please. Thank you. So we've got that intense cell over Jackson County. It does have rotation approaching Diaz and Newport. So you should be in your safe place right now, Diaz and Newport, because there could be a tornado, and most likely it should be a weak tornado with that. I'm not seeing anything that's screaming out to me to say it's a strong tornado at this time, but that could change moving off to the northeast towards Jonesboro, where it's more favorable for this system to continue to strengthen. Lots of lightning across Bald Knob and Augusta. We've got a new tornado warning, I think, for that area. Yes, that just came out.
Looks like an extension there until 8:45 for Woodruff County into Jackson County. Looks like a little part of White County as well.
Okay, so looking at that, I mean, that cell is packed with a lot of lightning. So that's concerning, because you see a lot of lightning. That means the storm is strengthening, the updraft is strengthening, and this one is starting to show rotation with it very close to Bald Knob. So we're going to take a look at this one. This is the newest warning now. We'll take a look at the hail first. There could be quarter size hail, maybe as large as ping pong ball size hail in the orange area. But most concerning is, okay, does this have rotation? And it does show that there is a little bit of rotation happening very close to Bald Knob. So if you're watching us in Bald Knob, Russell, Bradford, once again, well, this area was just under a tornado warning.
They were just under a warning not long ago.
I mean, we called out these communities about an hour to 2 hours ago. Fitzhugh, Tupelo, Weldon,
right here.
Bradford. So now we've got the
Meadville.
Situation, Tom, of where we're getting training supercells almost, one supercell after the next. So communities could get hit 1, 2, maybe 3 times, because this is going to be a long night, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to continue to watch this potential of supercells all the way through midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, potentially, for most of central Arkansas. Until that front moves through, and that front's still out in Oklahoma, we're going to have to watch out for every single storm, because any storm that develops could go strong, too severe, and also potentially produce a tornado.
Yeah, I just want to call out some communities that are under warnings, tornado warnings, just so that you know. Here we go. Bald Knob, Russell, Judsonia, Velvet Ridge, Arkansas, Tupelo, Fitzhugh, Augusta. This is the new warning. Meadville, Arkansas. Back down into White County, you've got Judsonia, Kensett, Searcy, Center Hill, West Point, Higginson, Griffithville, Garner, McRae, Antioch, Arkansas. If you live in those areas, you should be in your safe place. Ward, Austin, even all the way over to Hickory Plains and Crossroad in Prairie County, Woodlawn, Fairview, Parnell, and along 67 167, it looks like an area of rotation now crossing over 67 167. That's on the south side of Cabot, just to the west of Parnell, near Furlow, Arkansas. Macon, looks as if the warning is moving out of your area, at least the main area of concern, and on the north edge of Jacksonville. Those are just a few communities. Okay, there's several communities involved in the tornado warnings that we have. And back towards central Arkansas, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning now that's been posted for Pulaski County that extends from near Ferndale, West Little Rock, Camac Village. That storm is moving to the east. It looks like if you live in Ferndale, you're out of the woods at this time. But Camac Village and downtown Little Rock, can we take a look outside real quick, gentlemen? Renee, if you don't mind, thank you so much. Let's take a look at the other camera, looking westbound. That would show that storm moving through the Little Rock area. There it is. Pretty low cloud base there, maybe a shelf cloud. That storm is approaching the downtown Little Rock area. Did we know for sure if they went through with the game at War Memorial, or did they postpone it? Oh, amazing lightning there. Somebody find out for me and let me know. But earlier tonight over at War Memorial Stadium, they were having a state high school boys football championship. The game's been canceled, all right? And we'll let you know if they reschedule that game. It was a wise move to cancel that game with all of the bad weather around, including the lightning. An amazing sight here with the thunderstorm moving in, a lot of lightning. And this is just part of the thunderstorm, the line of storms in central Arkansas that extends up into parts of let's say east central Arkansas, where we're finding those supercell thunderstorms. There's another shot of radar this evening. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 8:30, 22 minutes away here. The storm is moving through the Camac Village area. You've got 430 and Highway 10. It looks like it's moving through here as well. 430 down to around, let's say, the Shackleford Road area. Geyer Springs, it's approaching you. Not quite to downtown Little Rock. A lot of lightning with this system. Sherwood, you've got some very heavy rain and lightning where you are as well. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Pulaski County.
Tom, I'm watching that one very closely because you're familiar with the term Taylor and Charlie?
Yes.
This is on the southern flank of these developing supercells. So we have to watch out for this one very closely over Little Rock, I believe, because it's got the environment all to itself. Yes, we had rain earlier, so maybe that will hold down the chance of it strengthening, but just it's showing a little appendage there, so we'll have to watch out for it very closely. But there you see just a line of intense showers and storms lined up from Little Rock Metro all the way up along Highway 167. Again, we still have those tornado warnings in effect for parts of Lono County, into White County, also into Jackson County. So we've got 4 tornado warnings, and we'll go down the line here. Taking a look at the rotation tool once again on Storm Track 11, there's nothing that really stands out to me. That's good news, but not to say that these cells still could not produce a tornado at any moment. So don't be scared. We don't want you scared. We just want you to take this seriously. Be prepared, just in case type situation. Let's go over to radar, please. And we're taking a look at the first tornado warning into Lono County. If there is something happening at this time, I would say it's pretty close to Cabot and Austin, but there's nothing that really stands out to me. So around Austin, Old Austin, there could be a brief, weak tornado that may be around that location. So that would be Highway 38, Highway 321, and there's Highway 167. So those areas, if you're watching us in those locations, that's where most likely that the rotation would be located at this point in time. We'll do a little, once again, I'll put a track on here for you. There's the appendage, so that kind of fits on where we're looking at when we look at the rain and also the winds within the storm. Here's a breakdown. If that rotation continues to hold together, it's going to be moving over these communities. Edwards around 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. Hickory Plains around 23 minutes after 8 o'clock. Griffithville, 8:31, and Jasmine around 8:33. That's tornado warning number 1. Let's work up the line here and see if there's any other rotation that really stands out, because we have another tornado warning still in effect for White County. This cell does not look as significant, but still showing some indication that there is a little bit of rotation there. So let me clear some of this out to clean things up, to make it a little bit easier to see. But there is a little appendage just to the north of Griffithville. So if there's something happening I think it would be right around the Griffithville area, and that would be moving towards Pryor and West Point. Tom, you got something to say?
Some good information here, and something that's actually good news. The Cabot area tornado warning and Searcy area tornado warning are going to be replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning. So they're going to expire these warnings that are tornado warnings and replace them with severe thunderstorm warnings. Certainly some good news there. Severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled for Montgomery County, and severe thunderstorm warning continues for Clark, Dallas, Garland, Hot Spring, and Pike counties till 8:45 tonight. So in the next few minutes, we'll see a couple of tornado warnings possibly disappear. Let's hope they're not replaced with more, but it's an active night. Just be on guard, folks. It's just best to be prepared. Check that out near Augusta.
That one's more concerning. This one's definitely a tight couplet, strong rotation now, right over Highway 64. Once again, Augusta is under the target zone of where this potential tornado is happening. That's going to be moving right over the community of Augusta. So Augusta, heads up, you've got a nasty storm, potential tornado headed in your direction very shortly. How fast is this storm moving, Tom? Is that also 50 miles per hour?
50 miles per hour.
Okay, we'll go with the track just to take you through time here on what communities may be affected and when. Of course, you're running out of time, Augusta. It's going to be there at your doorstep very, very soon. So rotation, this storm is starting to spin a little bit more. This is going to be more likely to produce a tornado at any moment, very close to the community of Augusta. And then you see Riverside, 821. We've got Tilton, 834, Fisher, 840, and Brushy Lake around 843. That cell, I think, is most likely to produce a tornado than all the other cells. Looking at the one that moved over Diaz and also Newport, that rotation has weakened somewhat, but we'll take a look at it. We'll zoom in here and we'll take a look at where that one is. I'm just going to look at the rain part of this radar. Not seeing too much of an appendage with this. Storm Track 11 pretty much shows the rotation almost out of the Diaz Newport area. It's just to the east. So then Grubbs and these areas are along Highway 384, Highway 67, Highway 18. So if there's something happening at this time, I'm going to put it right about here. This is a rough estimate, but Grubbs, you're in the path of this potential cell that's producing rotation and may produce a tornado at any moment. But really, I think the one that we have to be concerned about is going to be the one over Augusta as we continue to see the rotation start to pick up with that cell, looking at Storm Track 11. And looking at the other cells, Tom, I'm not seeing anything right now of concern in Pike County or down to the southwest. So let's just concentrate on the one, I think, in Woodruff County, very close to Augusta.
Something we didn't expect tonight, Nathan, at least I didn't expect, flash flood warning. Flash flood warning in effect for Faulkner, Garland, Lonoke, Perry, Pulaski, Saline, White, and Woodruff counties. Didn't expect it, but these thunderstorms have been training over the same areas and they're producing a lot of rain, along with the fact that they could be producing tornadoes. So I wanted to pass that information along. A severe thunderstorm warning is also in effect for Lonoke, Prairie, Pulaski, White counties until 9 o'clock. That's a new severe thunderstorm warning. And one other thing I want to mention is power outages. We're getting some reports of power outages. I'm not surprised in Northeast Arkansas, but some power outages now. Independence, White, Lonoke, Arkansas counties here in central Arkansas. And we have a tornado warning that remains in effect. Nathan was going to show us that picture real quick. Let's go back to live winds, and here's an update with that.
Yeah, so Tom, you can see there's clearly strong rotation once again over those same communities that we were talking about 2 hours ago. Fitzhugh, Augusta, moving towards Tupelo, and this cell is almost following the same exact track, except it may be a little more to the north, it looks like, compared to the other cell that we saw. But it's going to be moving into Poinsett County, it's going to be moving into Craighead County, and
maybe a little
Cross County. It could move into Cross County. So
yeah, maybe southern, more of a southern track than the other.
We'll put it on a track here because that one is moving, was estimated 50 miles per hour. And the tornado warning has not been extended. Memphis has not decided to extend that just yet for Cross or Poinsett County, but those are the communities that really need to watch out for this cell. It's over very close to Augusta, and then it's going to be very close to Fitzhugh, Tupelo, Beadville, Riverside, And there you see the timeline. Around Fairfield, 8:42, Cherry Valley around 8:47, Harrisburg around 8:52. That is the most concerning cell I'm seeing at this time with the highest amount of rotation. The cell into Jackson County starting to tick up just a little bit. That one's close to Grubbs. They got another tornado warning issued for Jonesboro. So Jonesboro is going to be under a second tornado warning this evening, Tom.
My goodness, so they were hit not long ago with our first supercell of the evening, the first tornado warning storm of the evening, and now we've got this. Let's take a reset moment. Let's back up and take a look at the statewide view and get everybody else up to date. We've been focusing on this area because this was the area that, well, has the tornado warnings in the area of concern. We've got a frontal boundary still out in Oklahoma. The next line, hopefully the last line, is moving in and through northwest Arkansas. Don't see many watches or many warnings on this line just yet. It's mainly here over central, southwest, and east central Arkansas. Mentioned that 2 tornado warnings were going to be replaced with severe thunderstorm warnings. That has happened. So the 1 tornado warning that we have now encompasses parts of White, Woodruff, and Jackson County, and it's, as Nathan just said, it's going to move to the northeast and possibly get close to the Jonesboro area once again. Once this cell moves out of the Woodruff County and Jackson County area, it enters the Jonesboro viewing area and the Memphis market. We're still watching storms developing to our southwest. We've got a flash flood warning in effect for nearly every central Arkansas county. Lots of very heavy rain. Nathan, I think the good thing that could happen with this is the atmosphere gets so worked over with all of the rain, it stabilizes somewhat. So that line that we still have that has to come through tonight, maybe it will, keep your fingers crossed, maybe it will be a little bit weaker as it moves into central Arkansas. But for now, I think we need to pay a little more attention to what's happening down in Pike County, moving into Clark County. Lots of lightning, intense lightning. The more lightning there is, the stronger the thunderstorm in terms of its intensity. It's intensifying, I should say. And notice this area is moving to the northeast. If you live in Caddo Valley, if you live in Arkadelphia, Murfreesboro, it looks as if the storms have now moved just to your east and south. And it looks as if a little bit of an appendage is trying to take shape here along the border of Pike and it's Hempstead County. In southwest Arkansas.
Tom, I'm seeing that appendage. I'm also seeing a little bit more rotation showing up around D-Light, and that is going to be moving towards Clark County. So Clark County, you're not under a tornado warning at this time, but if this cell continues to strengthen, you could be, and that does include you folks in Arkadelphia. So just get ready. I would put the shoes on. Just be prepared to take those tornado precautions just in case they issue a tornado warning and this cell continues to strengthen. This cell is moving off to the northeast. Now, I know we do have rain in the area, but is the atmosphere so unstable and we have so much wind shear that it doesn't matter if we have rain or not. That could be certainly a situation. Yeah. So just because we have rain, don't let your guard down and say, hey, we're in the clear. We're not going to have to worry about this, because these are just the type of storms. You got enough wind shear, you got enough wind energy in the atmosphere, they will feed off that and they will intensify very quickly. So we'll have to watch out for that cell in Pike County moving into Clark County, because that'll be moving up towards Interstate 30, affecting you folks in Malvern. So if you're watching us in those areas, be prepared for at least some gusty winds, some heavy rain, and also a lot of lightning. Even though some places have not seen a drop of rainfall out there tonight, we still have a ways to go. And when I say a ways to go, I looked at the surface observations. The cold front has not even passed Tulsa yet.
Wow.
So
that is a long
there
way
is
to
a
go.
line developing out into Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas. That could be the final line, but until that line moves through, we have to watch out for every single storm, because any storm could become strong to severe, and yes, even produce a tornado, and we could see more tornado warnings issued as we go into the rest of the evening and even into the early morning hours. That tornado watch goes all the way until at least 11 o'clock. It may be extended, or we may need a new tornado watch. That is certainly a possibility. As we take a look at the watch right now, or the watches happening around the region, there you see pretty much all of Arkansas is under a tornado watch, with the exception of southeast Arkansas. Not to say, don't go to bed thinking, hey, we don't have any tornado watches, I don't have to be concerned about any tornado warnings if you're watching us in Camden, if you're watching us in Monticello. Your time may come later tonight. You might see severe weather 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So make sure you've got the THV 11 app, and make sure you have those notifications turned on, and make sure you have several ways of getting tornado warnings, because as you have seen, there have been power outages. but yet we have other tornado warnings that have been issued. Now, I see, Tom, they just went with a confirmed tornado with that cell moving through Augusta and into the Fitzhugh area. So we'll go back over to that.
All right.
Because that one certainly, like I said, that was the most concerning cell, and yeah, it's got my attention. Unfortunately, it's moving off to the northeast, closer and closer to Harrisburg. So
yeah,
we're going to take a look at well, let's go ahead and take a look at Storm Track 11 first, and I'll get the radar set up here for you.
There it is. Right in that area, near Tupelo, Arkansas now. Earlier tonight, this area was affected by that first supercell thunderstorm, and now Tupelo, Arkansas. It looks a little more impressive there with the rotation, Nathan. You're right, it does.
Yeah, and that purple polygon that we're seeing, that means that there has been a confirmed report or damage or something. I don't know if the National Weather Service, if you can see it over there.
Yeah,
I don't have it up on my computer.
Yeah, but we're having some issues getting some data tonight, but it says that they're updating the tornado warned area for a confirmed tornado. So that's what Nathan was mentioning for this area. So southeast of Fitzhugh, headed directly at Tupelo, Arkansas. So I'd say right now Tupelo is pretty much being affected by this potential tornado. Radar confirmed tornado moving toward Tupelo. So another tornado, again in an area that was primed today, had the best dynamics to see tornadoes. It was northeast in parts of central Arkansas, and we're seeing that now. So if you can hear us and you live in this part of the state, make sure you stay in your safe place. If not Tupelo, you look toward the Beadville area. Also, I can't tell, Weldon, Arkansas. Weldon, Arkansas. So Tupelo right now being affected by a tornado.
And we can go back to the radar.
Yeah.
That shows the cities a little bit better. So yeah, there's Tupelo, Beadville, Hickory Ridge, Fisher, Cherry Valley, Whitehall, Waldenburg, and even Harrisburg, all under a tornado warning. So southern parts of Jackson County, you were under a tornado warning earlier this evening. You're under a new tornado warning, and that extends into Poinsett County and also northwestern parts of Cross County. We'll give a track here with where the highest rotation or highest probability of the rotation will be located. It's over these communities right here. And there's the timeline of when you can expect that rotation and or tornado will be moving across your community.
Right there. Okay. Okay, we have Scott Covert is live for us tonight. He's taken a trip around. Meteorologist Scott Covert. I think we still have that shot looking over toward, where are we again, guys? North Little Rock? Okay, this is Weather Force 11, and we're looking at the thunderstorms here in downtown Little Rock. We're getting an update on the location here in just a second. Any word yet, JD?
Okay, we have Scott Covert is live for us.
The delay is just such a big delay. Anyway, Scott is out and about for us. He's live for us tonight to keep us up to date. North Little Rock, that's where we are. Thank you very much. North Little Rock, that's where we're finding some very heavy rainfall. I will say this, Little Rock severe thunderstorm warning will be expired. That's some good news, but the one that is along northeast Pulaski County remains in effect. Lined up here, 167 corridor, the I-30 corridor. We have a couple of warnings here, Pike County, Clark into Hot Spring, and just a little bit of Garland. Here's the central Arkansas warnings for Pulaski County, Lonoke County, and our main concern right now, I have to say, is happening a little bit farther to the northeast, Woodruff County area, where a confirmed tornado was reported. And we're going to go toward Tupelo, Arkansas, along Highway 17. Tupelo, here's 37, 17. If you live in Beadville, Arkansas, this storm may affect you, might move just to your south. Make sure you're in your safe place. Hickory Ridge, Arkansas, cannot rule it out as well. 145, Highway 145 and 37 is where we find the greatest circulation center with this tornado tonight. And this is the only warning we have currently for tornado warning within the THV 11 viewing area. There you go, right there.
Yeah, so there's the icon I put down to show, hey, this is definitely a confirmed tornado now moving through the Tupelo area right on the border of Jackson County and Woodruff County, headed towards Beadville, Hickory Ridge, Highway 37. So we'll zoom in a little bit more and point out more roads here. Highway 33, Highway 145, Highway 42. So if you know anybody that lives in those areas, they need to get to their safe place at this time because there's a tornado on the ground. Well, not on the ground. There's a tornado happening, and it is moving very quickly off to the east, northeast, about 50 to 60 miles per hour, and it will be moving towards Poinsett County, right on the border, I think, of Poinsett County and Cross County, Tom. But
Yeah.
those storms are really wrapping up. They're strengthening as they move into northeast Arkansas, and it's just a bad situation for them. For us, it looks like they're just starting to initiate here in central Arkansas, and then they really take off
And
as expected.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing all night. Let's take a statewide view. Let's go back statewide view. Let's show everybody what's going on. I know it seems like all we've done has been here, but this is where we've had most of the tornado warnings tonight. All of the warnings that have had tornadoes with them, well, we've had one or two here in Little Rock area, but notice here in northeast and east central Arkansas. Storms Prediction Center said earlier today that this was going to be the area primed for tornadoes, possibly EF2 or stronger tornadoes. I think we're going to see that when we take a look at these damage surveys in northeast Arkansas. Along with that, along the 67-167 corridor, we've had numerous severe thunderstorm warnings. In southwest Arkansas, we've got a couple of cells we're keeping an eye on. Not tornadic, but severe thunderstorm warnings, damaging wind, hail, and at any point in time, any moment, they could produce tornadoes. Looking back toward northwest Arkansas, you see this line. That's way out ahead of the front. There were indications from the forecast models that we saw earlier that we'd probably have a 1-2 punch, possibly a third line with the frontal boundary. Still well out in Oklahoma. That front will be moving in later on tonight. Again, central Arkansas, there is also flash flooding tonight. Flash flood warnings are in effect for a good part of central Arkansas. We don't have those boxes up yet, but Nathan can pop those on for us just to show you where they are. We'll take another graphic if we need to. But you can see those warning boxes extend from Little Rock, Searcy, upwards to near Newport, and we have a tornado warning with a tornado that has been confirmed in the Woodruff County, Jackson County area. It is getting ready and set to move over into the Jonesboro viewing area, Jonesboro Market, and that will be taking place here very shortly within the next few moments. But you see the warning box here. You've got a purple outline, which is a little bit different. Tornado warning, and then we've got tornado warnings, tornado emergencies, confirmed tornadoes, and this one is confirmed near Tupelo, Arkansas, and it's moving to the east-northeast. So it's north of McCrory. If you can hear us in Augusta, this particular cell looks like it's out of your way, although there's still stronger thunderstorms just to your west along Highway 64, west of Augusta, Woodruff County, Jackson County area, and the movement of those cells to the east-northeast at about 45 to 50, in some cases 60 miles per hour. This tornado looks like, as Nathan is showing, is going to track up toward the Beadville area and eventually will move into eastern Arkansas counties, Cross, Craighead counties, Poinsett counties that were hit real hard earlier tonight. I don't want to say things are quiet where we are in central Arkansas, but it's been the initiation point. We've seen storms develop in central Arkansas over the last couple of hours or so, and they're tracking into northeast Arkansas, a more favorable environment, and they've gotten stronger. So this is what we've asked you to do. Hang with us tonight. It's only 8:30. I think this is going to last a while longer. Make sure you have your safe place ready to go. NOAA Weather Radio, THV11. We have a fabulous app that will notify you when we have warnings. Make sure that is up and ready to go with your phone. You have your phone ready. Hopefully you haven't lost power. There are power outages. JD, do we have those power outage pages?
Well,
okay.
Tom,
okay, go right ahead. Yeah.
Governor Asa Hutchinson, you see it tweeted out here just moments ago, reports from the emergency management that there was a tornado that struck Mississippi County. First responders are on the scene. So that clearly says something bad happened in Mississippi County, and our prayers and thoughts are certainly with those folks. And they will continue to see the potential of tornadoes in northeast Arkansas especially. So this cell moving out of Jackson County into Poinsett County, into Cross County, that will be the trend over the next several hours. So if you have friends and family in northeast Arkansas especially, they need to stay weather aware, because that is where the atmosphere is very ripe for not only tornadoes, but strong tornadoes out there this evening. So we've got this final tornado warning that is affecting you folks in Jackson County, and I apologize, that's Beattyville, not Beadville. So a viewer said on our number, 501-376-1111. So thank you, viewer. Really appreciate that because we always want to get the communities right. But yes, you are under the gun at this time for a tornado that is very, very close to Beattyville. And then it will continue to make its way right along the border of Cross County and Poinsett County. So we'll take a look at the winds once again to see what is exactly happening within this storm. And it is still producing a lot of wind. So you may not see a tornado, but there could still be some damaging wind gusts. And it's right there, Highway 37, Highway 145, headed towards Hickory Ridge. So you need to be in your safe place at this time. Beattyville, Hickory Ridge, Fisher. This is a dangerous storm, and it is racing off to the east-northeast about 50 miles per hour. That is the only tornado warning we have in effect for all of the THV 11 viewing area. So we may be able to take a little breather unless these cells in Clark County start to act a little suspicious, and we'll just have to watch them very closely. You cannot let your guard down on a night like this. I'm not seeing any rotation to show up around Arkadelphia or Caddo Valley too much, but there is a lone storm in that part of the state. It's got the atmosphere all to itself, and it's producing a lot of lightning. So it could be producing some large hail. That's why the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for Clark County. So it's rain like cats and dogs, about to move into Arkadelphia and Caddo Valley. Lots of lightning. There could be hail, maybe the size of quarters or even larger than that in some spots, and these are moving off to the northeast and east, and we have to watch out for those cells as they start to approach the Little Rock Metro. And there you see more cells out into northwest Arkansas, Sebastian County, also into Franklin County.
And there's the line that hopefully will put an end to all of this now in western and northwestern Arkansas that will be here a couple of 3 hours after we finally get this stuff through. I do want to take a moment. We've got some power outages. Let's go to that page. Thank you, JD. 28,000 folks plus without power around Arkansas, 28,707. And it appears as if, it's northeast Arkansas, Mississippi County, Craighead County, but even a swath of counties in central Arkansas, Jackson, Independence, Woodruff, White. Arkansas County has some power outages tonight. Some wind damage is possible. Severe thunderstorm warnings have been up, and they've been going on all night, as well as these tornado warnings. So I'm not surprised that wind is knocking power out across the state. If we need some, well, here we go. Little Rock Air Force Base reported winds of roughly 60 miles an hour earlier this evening. The data coming into us from the National Weather Service has been interrupted at times, so we're trying to pass along as much as we can. Okay, so here's something for you. We'd love to have your photos and videos. We don't want you to go out in a thunderstorm and take it, but once the storm passes, we'd like to see what's happening where you live. Send us photos to 501-376-1111. Include your name and location, please. Please let us give you credit for sending in. And thank you for being a weather watcher for us tonight. All right, so let's go back to northeast Arkansas one more time and take a look at that tornado warning that's getting ready to push out of our viewing area. We still have a warning that's active here in northeast Arkansas, parts of Jackson County, a little bit now of Woodruff County. Tupelo has been affected, and notice back behind it, severe thunderstorms, yes, might have to put another warning out for places like Augusta and Fitzhugh, but this south of Beattyville, 37, 145, the main highways here. This is where we're finding the rotation, and it's moving to the northeast. And once again, we'll move into an area that's already had a tornado emergency tonight. We've had the governor just issued a statement. Mississippi County hit hard. I wouldn't be surprised if Craighead, Poinsett counties have also got tornadoes. We're going to find out tomorrow. December in Arkansas, you may not think, well, severe weather outbreak, sometimes we get them, and this was kind of our turn, unfortunately. There you go. There's a better perspective without radar of the warnings that we have in Jackson County. That is until 8:45 here in the next 10 minutes. We hope to take a little bit of a breather with severe thunderstorm warnings. Look at the reports we're getting of hail, some wind, large hail also a possibility tonight with these thunderstorms. Getting reports of hail coming in now, 1-inch hail. For Lono, Prairie, White, and Woodruff counties. Look at it, 1 inch here, over an inch, and that meets the criteria, quarter-sized hail. and severe thunderstorm winds of 58 plus miles per hour. If you live in Lonoke County, northern Lonoke County, the Cabot area, White County, Prairie County, Georgetown, Garner, even upwards toward the Searcy area, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. It seems like you've had a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning now for the last couple of hours. This activity will hopefully die down soon, but we've got a little ways to go. There's a thunderstorm wind gust measured at Pulaski County at the air base, 64 miles per hour. So yeah, it was more than 60 miles per hour, and that may have been part of the wind gust, part of the system that prompted the tornado warning that we had in northern Pulaski County. All right, let's go back to radar. Let's find out what else is going on. We still have the activity in southwest Arkansas and Clark County, Pike County, where severe thunderstorm warnings were in effect. And also the warnings here in central Arkansas. We're not going to leave you out. The tail end here in western Lonoke and eastern parts of Pulaski County near Jacksonville. This activity continues to move to the east-northeast, producing some very heavy rainfall. Honestly, these storms moving so fast, initially didn't think they would produce a lot of rain, but they have, and there are flood warnings in effect for parts of central Arkansas. Beebe, McRae, Garner, how about Griffithville, even up to Pryor, Arkansas. Lots of lightning and thunder. These storms are very intense. They're holding together, and at times they're producing tornadoes. And there is our warning that remains in effect for places, let's say Jackson County, and just a little sliver of Woodruff County right there before it moves into the Memphis and Jonesboro viewing area. All right. Rainfall estimates. Yeah, let's go ahead and run the gamut here. How much rain have we seen? This will take a second to get up to date, but a lot of rain over a very short amount of time. And yeah, it's all over 67, 167, back towards 65, I-40. This is the area that is under the flash flood warning. Some very heavy rain falling in a very short amount of time. Bald Knob, about 1.5 inches, a little over 1 inch around the Cabot area, up near and close to Tupelo, Arkansas. This has been the initiation point of all the severe weather that we've had tonight. And notice that area extends all the way back into southwest Arkansas. Generally, places that have seen the thunderstorms are picking up 1 inch, possibly 2. But notice there's still a lot of the state, southeast Arkansas, and a good part of north central Arkansas that haven't seen a drop. And that was one of the things we told you tonight, that some places would get rain and some places wouldn't. And these supercell thunderstorms have been training over the same general areas, producing very heavy rain, wind, and as we've seen this evening, Nathan, tornadoes, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's some terrible news coming out of northeast Arkansas, it looks like,
Yep.
Tom. There's tweets going out about, I don't know how to pronounce the community, Monette Manor Nursing Home.
Oh no.
Was possibly struck by a very violent tornado.
Oh no.
So not what we want to hear. But once again, the tornado watch, it goes until 11 o'clock, and we'll, if it's okay with you, we're just going to show the timeline of when people still need to be weather aware. So the tornado watch is until 11 o'clock, but here's the breakdown of when you need to stay weather aware out there tonight. We'll continue to be here all night long until the severe weather threat is over, and we're just waiting on that cold front. But here's a rough estimate of when we can say goodbye to the severe weather in your neighborhood. If you want to break that down, Tom.
Yeah. Okay, so up until 11 o'clock, you've got the line that's near Fayetteville, Fort Smith, up until 11 o'clock, just to the west of, let's say, Russellville, Clinton, Mountain Home. And then it shifts into central Arkansas. So we're going to be under the gun here, a good part of central and north central Arkansas until 2 o'clock in the morning as that line moves across. And it could be early tomorrow morning for southeastern parts of the state. 5 a.m., this is what we're looking at for those thunderstorms finally getting out of the way. We also have a report from Martha Myrick, THV 11's Martha Myrick up in Bentonville. Is Martha on the phone with us, JD? Okay, downtown Bentonville area without power. So yeah, these thunderstorms are packing a wallop, and we still have a ways to go. So stay with us. We'll be here for you tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to take just a little bit of a break with this last tornado warning as soon as this warning leaves Jackson County.
Yeah, more on that information about the Monette Nursing Home from
okay.
our sister station in Memphis. They're saying a nursing home has collapsed with residents inside. So just a terrible, terrible situation unfolding for our family and friends in northeast Arkansas and around the Memphis area.
Yeah. Again, this area has been affected all afternoon and evening long, or at least all evening long, with the first cell that moved through that actually developed here in central Arkansas, tracked to the northeast. All right, storm report. We've had quarter-sized hail in Cabot tonight. It's 1-inch hail. And that's becoming a little more common. We're finally getting the reports from our area viewers and from folks about what's happened in their area. Keep those coming in, 501-376-1111. We still have this one tornado warning that we're going to stay here, it looks like, until 9 o'clock, but that's going to move into the Jonesboro viewing area. At 8:45 is when it expires for parts of Little Rock's viewing area, Jackson County. You know, that's awfully concerning there. Moving over Hickory Ridge, Arkansas, along Highway 42. It looks as if that's where we're finding the rotation now with this particular cell. Over Hickory Ridge, Arkansas. If you live in Hickory Ridge, hopefully you've taken cover between Fisher and Hickory Ridge. That's moving to the northeast. And again, it's you see the outline of that purple polygon. It's indicating there's been a confirmed tornado there. That is moving away. Once this moves out into Jonesboro, we may take just a little bit of a break. You know, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings. We expect those tonight. We'll break in if we think those severe thunderstorm warnings may produce tornadoes. As a matter of fact, you know, it looks like that we're probably going to see that happen once again. Let's take a broader scope. Mr. Nathan, if you don't mind, I want to look at that line once again that's moving in out of northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, sorry, I'm watching Storm Track 11 to analyze the rotation tool on that to see if that rotation was picking up in Jackson County, moving into Poinsett County.
And here's Jackson County.
That's definitely the most concerning cell.
Yeah, the strongest one.
Definitely the appendage, the classic hook echo setting up, approaching Harrisburg. So if you have any friends or family in Harrisburg, Mark Tree, Truman, those areas, they need to really pay attention to this storm. And if they're under tornado warning, they need to take their tornado precautions, because we've already seen some of the damage that's coming in from Mississippi County and northeast Arkansas. Terrible, terrible situation. We knew it was going to be one of those type of days where, unfortunately, one community could get hit pretty hard. And it looks like, in fact, that has happened to the community of Monette.
And the nursing home in Monette. Some considerable damage. You know, hopefully we'll get some, if the 10 o'clock newscast occurs tonight, we can get a break from the weather. Hopefully we'll have some information to share with you. You know, a lot of people have family members. We get it. You have family that live in these areas. You want to know what's happening. So we're doing the best we can to provide this information for you. And here's what's going on right now. We still have the severe thunderstorm warnings to the south, southwest. And these storms may break apart, and the supercells may continue to evolve and develop and strengthen. Tail end here moving through the Jacksonville, Cabot area. At least some very heavy rainfall. Flash flood warnings are in effect for several counties here in central Arkansas. Let's see, severe thunderstorm warning continued here for Lone Oak County. Winds of 70 miles per hour. Hail as large as 1 3/4 of an inch in diameter. So that's this area right here. And yeah, you can see the hail core that we have. You can see it's quarter sized. The blue right up here. It gets a little bit darker, so you get closer to ping pong ball sized hail. That's near Georgetown, Arkansas. Augusta, which is Woodruff County, then you get to that tornado warning box right over here. Let's take a look at southwest Arkansas, Nathan, and let's see if what's happening there, if those warnings are still in effect there. You get a break here in the Little Rock area, and more storms coming our way up I-30 tonight. So this is why we say we're not finished with it. Caddo Valley, Arkadelphia, very heavy rain. Look at all of that lightning. Very intense thunderstorm happening here. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect. Malvern, it's not far from you. And then southwest of Caddo Valley near Antoine, Arkansas, and over toward Murfreesboro, Pike County, it looks like you might be on the tail end of that, and more activity extending down to extreme southwest Arkansas.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that one in Arkadelphia, Tom. That's starting to show a little more rotation right over Arkadelphia, Caddo Valley. Looking at the winds, there's definitely some wind there, and looking at the rotation tool, it's starting to pick up a little bit. So we have to keep close eye on that. Let's just give a broad perspective just in case this starts to spin a little bit more and where it could be headed. So I'm just going to put on a future storm track of where this is going to be moving, most likely towards. So Sheridan, Grant County, you need to watch out for this cell. It could continue to strengthen, and we're just in a situation that at any moment one of these storms could gather enough strength, start to rotate, and produce a tornado. So just heads up, Grant County, we'll be watching out for that cell very closely over the next hour. And there's a new severe thunderstorm warning that just went up.
Oh, a new one.
for the latest one over Antoine and central Clark County.
Okay. We also have photos coming in now, Nathan, from Leachville, Arkansas, damage in Leachville. There you go.
That's the one I showed
Yeah.
when we were looking at the rotation tool, Tom, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's red, and that's not good. So, unfortunately, there you go.
And although I guess we can't confirm, yeah, definitely a tornado. That does look like a tornado would do that, or at the very least, some very strong winds. Looks like more storms are trying to pop up west of Polk County, Mena area, so another round there, or at least the first initial round for those folks is beginning to come together. It looks as if the tornado warning, if I'm not mistaken, has expired. Let's take a look at up here or did we have a new addition here? I know it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but the tornado warning has pushed over into our Memphis viewing area, the Memphis viewing area, Jonesboro viewing area. So that allows us to take a little bit of a break here. But we're going to come back. Why don't we take a breather here and we'll pop back on. I hate to say with the next tornado warning, I have a feeling we're not done, but let's kind of reset and go through our next steps. Any closing comments, Nathan?
Well, that new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued, it's got the yellow polygon with it. So that does mean there could be a new tornado warning for that same area. You see the yellow here. So it's not just a regular severe thunderstorm warning, it's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible. So if you're watching us, once again, same locations, I hate to say it, Tupelo, Beattyville, be on your guard because this cell is starting to divide itself from the cell just to the northeast, and it may start to spin. The lightning's starting to pick up, so we have to watch out for that, because that may go to a tornado warning at any moment. Right now, it's just a severe thunderstorm warning, but a tornado could happen without it going to a tornado warning. So I need you guys in Beattyville to really pay attention to this and don't let your guard down, even though it's a severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay, so with that, let's take a breather. Let's take a few minutes. Since we are not looking at a tornado warning for the THV 11 viewing area, we still have severe thunderstorm warnings, but we will be back in a few minutes, probably sooner rather than later, folks. So let's go back to our regular programming, and we'll return with more weather information in just a few.